Do floor-standing loudspeakers offer anything over bookshelves? Okay. John in Guiney, Guiney, wherever that is. And John writes, it occurs to me that with a solid base array, a decent-sized bookshelf speaker may be all that I need. So my question is, with a good base array in a generous-sized room, is a floor-standing speaker adding anything to the sound that can't be delivered with a good bookshelf speaker? Well, I'm not quite sure what you mean by a good base array. So that's where my point of confusion comes up, because the quick answer is that a bookshelf speaker can never perform in the low frequencies as well as a floor-standing speaker. Moreover, I don't know any advantage that a bookshelf has over a floor standard, and yet the opposite is quite true and easy to explain. So, and let's set some ground rules up when we're talking about this, okay? First off, when we talk about a bookshelf speaker, I'm assuming that you don't mean it's sitting in a bookshelf, right? Because if it is, sorry, all bets are off. It's, you know, you get sound out of it, it's okay, but it's not going to be high end, it's not going to do what I would expect out of a system, and it's not worth your time to throw a set of speakers into a bookshelf. You won't have any imaging, you're not going to have any sound stage, nothing. It'll sound okay. You're talking, you know, an upgraded MP3 player, to use a Paul exaggeration. But assuming that you're thinking about putting these bookshelves on stands and putting them out into the room a little bit, then then there's nothing I can think of that has an advantage for a bookshelf, except that you've now robbed that poor speaker of any kind of cabinet for your woofer to work in. And if you think about it, a speaker stand takes as much floor space as a floor standing loudspeaker. There's no difference. You got this much space on a, right? And you could have a box that size. But the big difference is when you have a full floor standing box, now the woofer has a chance to go low. Now the woofer has some room to work in without all that tight back pressure. And you can port it, you can put passive radiators on it, you can do all kinds of things that you can do with a small speaker too, but you'll never get the same performance out of a small speaker that you will out of a large speaker. And again, John, I'm with apologies because I don't know what you mean by a base array. Maybe you mean with a subwoofer. And even then, let's just say you had subs, because I've had sub-satellite systems where you've got a little weeny speaker on a stand and a pair of subs. Yeah, I mean, the sub's going to give you good subterranean bass, of course. But the difference between how high the sub has to go to meet that smaller bookshelf speaker can make all the difference in the world of whether that sub disappears or does not. And we want it to disappear. We want it to sound as if the main speaker has bass. And that gets harder and harder as the speaker gets smaller and smaller. So that's what I got to say about that. All right, thanks for the question. I'd like to find out where Guinea is. Maybe it's a city or something. All right, take it easy. Bye.